Hey guys, hope you're all having a lovely day and welcome to another video. A few weeks ago now, we finally got a trailer on the next and last installment in the Norse series. I am sure by now the other channels have already covered this and I wanted to analyse it as much as possible before giving my thoughts, and so here we are. But I'm a little late to the party and a lot of details have been covered. I don't think it's fair to you that I go through the entire trailer stating the same things as well as some of the things I think they missed. So I'll stick to just showing you the things that I believe they missed. We begin on the Lake of Nine. We see that Tyr's travel bridge is in the Jotunheim position, which to most would make sense as that's the last place we positioned the bridge and ended our last journey. But if you remember, whenever we go back to Midgard, the bridge automatically turns toward the Vanaheim Tower, which means that either someone made a one-way trip at some point to go to Jotunheim, or someone pushed it toward the Jotunheim Tower. I just want to quickly include Kratos now has a larger bag where Faye's pouch once was. Not saying this is a fact, but I wonder if this could be where he now keeps the Bifrost, as I find it a little strange it's something he would just abandon. And to the far right of Kratos, it looks like the door that leads us to Tyr's shrine is open, which is odd. In the next scene we see Kratos walking toward the oarsmen. Slightly to the right of Kratos we were able to dock there, and it takes us to where Fafnir was once chained up. This area now looks unreachable, which, to be fair, there probably isn't much of anything to find inside that area, so it makes sense. We are now in Spartafime and Kratos is taken in the view. We can see what appear to be 3 chimneys, which means these could be the dwarves' forges, which should be extra confirmation that this is the land of the dwarves. And way off in the distance there are what could be homes. First glance you would think they are for the dwarves, but I hope it's a small settlement given to the humans. Plus it would explain why there are Draugr in Svartalfheim, and it would be a good idea if some humans survived. Over here is what could be the entrance of a mine, and I'm predicting this could be the area we find Tyr. Next up we find ourselves back in the boat. There is so much more going on in this scene, but my main focus is this. The semicircle can be seen around fairly frequently, but where else does this similar shape appear? This statue, more specifically the top of what could be a scepter, and mainly royalty carry these around. I believe this shape is this king's insignia. Theories to come as to who I think this is. We then meet Sindri, which could be the first time in a while if we go by what Brock says, but just above Sindri we have what appears to be a Celtic knot, which is another small detail showing the connection between Norse and Celtic myth. Next up we meet Durlin. Now, I briefly mentioned in my last video that he has what could be an Aztec scroll, but the other cool detail is that to our left, he owns what I think is a bonsai tree. Next we see Kratos and Atreus coming up against some new enemies. But what I want to focus on is that in this area alone, we have 3 or 4 white markings. Faye's mark was yellow/golden paint, but with this colour change, this could mean it's someone else entirely. My mind always goes to Angerboda, as I think she is a really big deal in this whole story. Up next we see Kratos pushing off an enemy, leading to a jumping smash attack, but what I want to focus more on is what Atreus is doing. He is using his bow as a melee weapon, which is nothing new, but he appears to be adding fire to his attacks, so this may mean we will get to use fire arrows and fire runic attacks with Atreus. This is followed by our first meeting with what I think are the Einherjar. They seem to be able to not only use the rainbow bridge Tyr created to travel, but also use it to power up their weapons. Then we come to the big scene where Thor shows up. Most would say there is nothing new to this, but if you look really close you can see Kratos has his chains on, which we know he didn't in Atreus' dream. But for some reason we can't see the blades, which is strange. From the angle we see Kratos here, we should at the very least see the tip of one, and maybe even the pommel. But we don't, so I wonder if this is either a small mistake on Santa Monica's part, or this shows Atreus did tell Kratos when Thor was going to show up, and he got prepared. Maybe a little bit of both. The next clip I want to talk about is the fight with the Draugr on Tyr's travel bridge. At first it appears as if nothing is new, but if you look in the distance you will notice that the lever that activates the elevator for the horn has gone, and with how close we are to it, I personally don't think it's too foggy to be hidden either. Even if the lever was there, the chances are high it wouldn't work anyway. Kratos would probably snap it, and even if he didn't, the elevator would probably be frozen stuck anyway. We then come to the scene with the Dreki. Again, at first glance, you really can't make anything out. But the one thing I think people missed is that we look to be very high up, to the point we are among the clouds. kind of similar in this scene. So I wonder if these two particular scenes are fairly close together. And lastly, we meet the Stalker. I have recently confirmed that this area is the same area where the troll was located in the E3 trailer, but in the final product this area only had rabid wolves and Draugr to fight. And that is the end of this video. That is my 16 things you may have missed. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I would greatly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, as it would help the channel a lot. Share and click the bell to be notified for every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I hope to see you in the next one.